Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, CAP Social Network. So, in today's video, I wanted to talk about a subject in our community, the African American community, that a whole lot of us don't like to talk about due to how we consider it such a taboo subject. And that taboo subject is baby mama culture. Because whether you know it or not, folks, we are the only race, ethnicity, group, however you would like to classify us as, a people who worship and praise having kids outside of marriage. Because how many of you, to all my fellow brothers and sisters and follow my channel, work with people who like to talk about, instead of either their wife or their husband, they always talk about either their baby daddy or baby mama. I mean, anytime you work around a whole lot of people that are within the black race, you're going to hear either somebody talking about their baby mama or their baby daddy. With that being said, and this is when, shortly after I started my job that I have been working for over 2 years, I remember this one black lady that maybe around in her 30s, 40s, maybe, talk about her boyfriend, but she didn't just consider him or classify him as her boyfriend. She considered him as her baby daddy, saying how they fight all the time, her and her baby daddy. And we just don't realize how foolish we sound when we consider our significant other as either our baby dad or our baby mama, because we worship so much being either or, to the extent, whereas if you look at a movie, a hood movie, it never ceases to amaze me how you see either a woman that's portrayed as a single mother, aka a baby mother, or a man who is a deadbeat, but yet and still in the same breath it's usually classified as a baby daddy. And you can even listen to music, because a while back Fantasia had the nerve to make a song worshiping how good it is to be, and how it's a badge of honor, so to speak, to be a baby mama. I could go on and on, because it was this group named 3 6 Mafia. For some of you who are familiar with the rap group, underground rap groups, 3 6 Mafia, they happened to make a song a while back about my baby mama. It's my baby mama's, that was part of the hook. Anyways, I'm going to get straight to the point, because I wanted to show you several clips addressing this topic, how it's no benefits of being a baby mama, and a few clips even talking about how it really makes us as a whole, as the black race, continually get stereotyped and looked at in a negative manner, negative fashion, by other races of people. Once again, like I said earlier, folks, we are the only ethnicity or nationality, however you like to say it, who look at it as quote unquote a badge of honor, having kids out of wedlock, specifically being referred to our significant other that was not usually married to in most cases, but may have kids when it's either a baby daddy or a baby mama. Anyways, let me roll the clips.
Kind of talks about how the Kardashians are reinventing how it is to be in a relationship.
So I was tagged in this video and I was asked to give my opinion. And I'm not gonna say much, but I think this is very toxic. I talked about this not that long ago, and I think glamorizing baby mama culture is just a no. If you guys follow me on here, you guys know that I am more into traditional relationships. If you're not into traditional relationships, please keep scrolling. Personally, I think getting pregnant with a person that you are not even with, like Travis and Kylie have not even been a couple for a while. I think that is reckless. It's not reckless for them because they have millions of dollars, but young girls, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls watching them and thinking that it's okay, then going to get pregnant and being left as single moms is not cute, nor beneficial to women.
Well said. By the way, I just wanted to roll that clip to show you guys how other people look at baby mama culture as nothing to be proud of, other races and other nationality, because it's clearly obvious that this beautiful lady is of another race. So I have more clips coming. Bear with me, folks.
That in African American culture, it's normal to be a baby mama versus African culture, it's abnormal. Why is there more fatherless or single mother homes in Black American communities versus African communities? What happened in the household that changed other than slavery? And I'm not even trying to minimize slavery.
Must I remind y'all, fellas, she fine as I don't know where, fine as all outdoors, as we say down south. I just had to add that in as well.
That was a humongous thing, and I do understand that had a major impact. Or is there a big population of single mothers in Africa? And I'm really asking this question to understand. Every time I talk about baby mamas, baby daddies, or whatever, I feel like there's always a big ass crowd of people that speak really mean and really cruel to people. Be nice.
Damn, she fine. Anyways, let me quit and roll another clip for y'all.
Why you say no first?
Just no, I don't want to get married. I hear a lot of bad stories.
So you never heard any good stories?
No.
You never heard no good stories about marriage?
No.
You want children?
I got 2 daughters.
You got 2 daughters. Like, why do people prioritize having kids before being married? Like,
Don't you think a man in the household would be the complete package for your situation?
Sometimes the one you married ain't even a complete package. You can have a whole wife and kids, and then it wasn't even a fuck it.
I just can't see how people were prioritizing having a child before being married. Like, that's the same cycle we've been in, and that's the same cycle that's continued to hold us back.
Speaking of which, I want to give my take and my 2 cents on this clip. I would say, in my personal honest opinion, ladies and gentlemen, that one reason why so many African American women have kids outside of marriage and multiple kids, in most cases by multiple dudes, is due to the simple fact I also take pride in being a baby mama. And I so hate using that term, even the other term, baby daddy. Anyway, it's due to the simple fact that so many Black women are so wishy-washy. What I mean by that is can't make up their mind and what they want for a man. They say 1 minute they want a specific thing in a man, only to sometimes get that exact man to meet their standards, but still not be satisfied. Still have either a complaint or dislike about him, have a kid by him, only to abandon that man, or in most cases, the man to abandon them, either abandon them outside of marriage, lead them for another woman, or divorce them due to the simple fact that so many Black women are so confused that it's ridiculous. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep on having kids from guy to guy only to break up with that guy. And in some cases, break up with the guy that they have kids by, or guys in most instances. And if things go left with one, they may go back to the, say for instance, the first baby daddy. If the things don't go right with the second baby daddy, they may go back to the first baby daddy. If things don't go right with the first baby daddy, they'll go usually back to the second baby daddy. Even some will have kids, believe it or not, folks, by men only to break up with those men and settle for women that look just like men, women that are studs, aka, and for lack of better terms, quote unquote status. So that's a combination between a stud and a stepdaddy. Anyways,
a lot of y'all wouldn't even have no kids if you could only get pregnant if the man that you wanted would marry you. Let me break it down slow for some of y'all. If the only way you could get pregnant was that the man that you wanted, the man you actually want, would have to marry you first, a lot of y'all would not be mothers. You know why? Because a lot of the men that y'all dealt with didn't want you in that way. They only wanted to have sex with you, and you just so happened to get pregnant, and because it was your body, your choice, you got to keep it. But you don't get to dictate marriage. You can dictate keeping that baby, but you can't dictate getting the man that you actually want to marry you. You cannot force him to do that. Either he wants to or he don't. And most of the time, they don't. And they finesse you into not wanting it too, because you know you'll never get it out of them. I know a lot of these conversations go over y'all head, and I have to remember I'm dealing with a group of girls who think that they got high standards because they turned down ice cream dates, but they smashed dudes from Tinder on the same day because he bought a surf and turf. So I understand how these conversations go over y'all head and y'all miss it because y'all are backwards. You are backwards. Your understanding and comprehension is backwards. But I'm going to continue to keep talking about this because the community is suffering. The kids are suffering. And y'all don't want to change it. You don't want to get to the root of the problem, but I'm going to keep getting to the root of the problem.
By the way, this beautiful sister goes by the handle of Dana Dane 1987. And you can follow her on TikTok. Once again, her handle is, if I'm saying it correctly, Dana Dane 1987. Let me roll more clips for y'all.
How embarrassing y'all make marriage look. There's more married men in my DMs than single.
So marriage is embarrassing, but baby mama and thought culture is not embarrassing? Also, let's not pretend like men are the only one who cheat. Women cheat almost just as much as men. So whether or not you agree or disagree with marriage, if you look at what it means and how it sets women up for success and even their children up for success, and greatly decreases their likelihood of getting in poverty, especially if they stay in marriage, it's undefeated. It is undefeated. So we can question and we can try all we want to try to minimize the institution of marriage, to try to minimize something that has existed literally since the beginning of human history. But the facts and the stats and the reality is clear that marriage is still the best and the safest way to go to raise your family. Don't argue with me. Just look at the information. Look at the stats.
I will forever be against baby mama culture as a young Black American woman. And for those of you who like to come into my comments and believe that marriage does not matter, I swear to God, I really want y'all to just run into a brick wall super fast and just pass out. You cannot sit here and tell me that marriage doesn't matter or marriage doesn't have an effect when 75% of Black children are raised in single parent households. Or I'm sorry, fatherless homes. Let's just call it what it is. That is a big problem because what affects you the most, more than race, more than economic class, more than education, is whether or not there is a father present in the household.
Throughout all the communities and throughout all the cultures of civilizations, throughout different societies within this world, for some reason, we have been duped to praise, to advertise, to promote, to condone, to normalize single-parent households. To such an extent that we don't even look past it whenever people like Old Navy or Target or Amazon, well, Rugrats as well, just making it seem like it's natural for Black children to be raised in single-parent households, for a Black woman to raise children all by herself because she couldn't keep a committed relationship with a man. She's not capable of doing that. That's what it shows, that the Black woman is not capable of keeping a man. She's not capable of keeping a household together. It shows to the Black man that he's not capable of being committed to a woman, of staying down for a woman, of actually properly being committed to the point of marrying a woman and then having children. It looks bad on both ends for black men and black women.
I don't know if it's just me, but why do old boy remind me of a reformed version of Kodak Black? I'm just saying, he so reminds me of Kodak Black. If Kodak Black wasn't so hood and gangster.
Ladies, do you realize that most of these men get us pregnant simply to turn us into permanent side chicks? You shouldn't be proud to be a baby mother. Really, like, why does our community glorify being a baby mother? We're starting to realize that men do not want to be fathers. The only reason they get us pregnant is to trap us and control us and to slow us down so that they can stay on top of us.
By the way, and excuse me for the interruption, ladies and gentlemen, but this here beautiful sister goes by the TikTok handle of Spiritual Whistleblower. And I just wanted to let y'all know, for a disclaimer, that she don't pull no punches. She, quote unquote, calls a spade, don't bite her tongue. I mean, she is just plain and simple, straight to the point. Some of you may, if you start following her, may find some of her material pretty triggering. Like I said, though, that's just how she comes across. Once again, her handle is Spiritual Whistleblower. And I just wanted y'all to know that she does not bite her tongue, so to speak. Anyways.
And they want to make us permanent side chicks. They feel like once we have their child that we are in debt to sleep with them for the rest of our lives. Being a baby mother is whack. I don't even want to be called a baby mother. I just hate the sound of it. I hate the title. Like, it's so corny to be a fucking baby mother or to have a man address you as his baby mother. Can we cancel that shit?
Exactly. Well said.
Is it disrespectful to refer to the mother of your child as my baby mama? Is it disrespectful for you to refer to the father of your child as my baby daddy? Because I notice we're the only people that talk like this. No other culture talks like this. We are the only culture that embraces this kind of buffoonery that makes other people look at us crazy. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section.
Have the highest rates of divorce in the United States out of every group. Black culture, hip hop, black feminism, and the policies in the 60s and the 70s created a culture where the family is not valued, is not prioritized, and marriage is not encouraged. To get your kids the best possible life, it's best to have them in a two-parent household, man, woman. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times in our culture, we promote this baby mama culture, this baby daddy culture. Like, it's to the point where it's not normal to have a two-parent household. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you live in the hood. Like, it's not normal to see that. You got a strong, independent black woman and this and this and that, and she could do it all on herself. These women they're more likely to have a kid than to be married. A lot of these women are out here now saying,
I'm gonna have a kid, but I don't want to get married.
Like, why would you have a kid with somebody that you don't even think about getting married with? Every other race and culture in the United States frown upon the things that we glorify.
Men need to get clear about is that men can always choose to stay or go. We can say it's not right. We can try to ration as to why. We can be upset, and rightfully so, but we cannot deny the facts. Men can always choose to stay or go. It doesn't make it right, but it's the reality. And it's the reality of many black women within our community. Men can always choose to stay or go. You see, a woman who carries a baby in her stomach for 9 months forms a connection with that child while it's in her womb, and then brings that baby earth side will not be as capable of walking away from the child as easily as the man can. So women can't just jump on any sexual opportunity, because the repercussions and the risk that we take with the wrong man sexually should not be taken lightly. The repercussions and the risk that we take with the wrong man sexually should not be taken lightly. And the reason why excuses and a lack of accountability cannot fly here is because in a consensual sexual relationship, a woman has full control over who she chooses to share her body and her womb with. A woman has full control over whether she chooses to share her body in an unprotected manner or not.
So I'm going to share my screen and let y'all hear some other clips here, seeing some other clips that I have saved to my TikTok favorites list pertaining to this topic.
Be just a baby mama. I want to be a wife. Like I want it to be love, marriage, baby. It's so crazy to me how people are outraged by the message that she gave. She's saying it's better to be married or make it mandatory for a man to marry you in order to give you a child. And of course, marriage is not a guarantee, but it's at least a try. Like at least you tried not to fail. But to just totally bypass standards and just say, oh, no, I'm just going to be a baby mother and make that the norm is really crazy. Like, do y'all know what it means to be a baby mother, to raise kids on your own by yourself? Do y'all know what that means? It's real ghetto. Even if you have a child with somebody that has means and he's giving you a good amount of child support, or y'all have a good co-parenting relationship, it's still ghetto as hell. A child should be in a home with the mother and the father, a husband and a wife. When you veer away from that, that's when we start having so many problems. And that's all she's saying. And I agree with her. It's like, why is that such a bad thing for her to say? Why is her saying that she wished Ashanti would be a wife before she gives Nelly a child so bad? I don't know. But I have to agree with her 100%. Ashanti, all this time she's waited, she deserves to be a wife. I approve the message.
You want to know the real reason why I don't want to have kids? Is because I always had a fear of being a single mom, because I had to watch my mom do it with 4 kids, right? Although she gave me all the love in the world, it was not enough. You know what I'm saying? We grew up very poor. I have to learn the hard way with these dudes. And not for nothing, what really scares me about men is that a man can tell you today, I want you to be my wife. They propose to you. You get married. You have 3 beautiful kids. Then out of nowhere, he can say, oh, I found somebody else. Bye. And leave you for dead. Leave you for dead. And that's why I don't want no kids, because men are so unpredictable. Think about Neo and his ex-wife, Crystal, right? When they got married, they had kids. It was like a happy ever after. Next, you know it. What did Neo go and do? Have a get up one day and have a family with someone else. This man had like, I guess 2 or 3 kids within their marriage. Like, I can't imagine the pain this woman is going through, the betrayal. Men are very selfish. And I always tell you, ladies, stop being 10 toes down for these dudes. Because I'm telling you, one thing about men, when they feel like they don't like you like that no more, they're not even going to tell you. They're going to ghost you, or they're going to get up and have a family with somebody else. So always make sure as a woman that you don't put your all into any relationship, and you have a little bit of a guard up, because like I said, these men are unpredictable. And I don't want you to lose yourself behind these men. Now, I'm not saying that every man you meet, you gotta be like, you trying to hurt me? What's going on? No, and be scared of love. No, I think love is a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. But I just want you to prepare yourself, ladies. Always prepare yourself. That goes for friends, family, your relationship. Always prepare for a motherfucker to switch up on you. Because when that day comes, because it's gonna come, you gotta prepare yourself. So if somebody switch up on you, it's like, I already seen it coming. Bye. I already seen it coming. All right, whatever. So you don't completely break and lose who you are and you go into a deep depression because you knew how these men move and you moved accordingly. That's what I want for y'all. That's what I want for y'all. And that's what I'm gonna say about that situation. But it's just scary to me. Love, marriage is scary because I'm solid, but these dudes ain't solid.
What's something that people glamorize that's actually just extremely toxic?
Baby mama culture in the Black community. The most toxic thing I've ever seen. Someone had to say it. He literally will glamorize the lifestyles of baby mamas, of rappers, or successful men as if that's something to glamorize. If behind closed doors, everything is pretty. There's nothing glamorous about being publicly disrespected time and time again. And then to make it even worse, they treat these men who disrespect and cheat on women like a tradition as the prize. No one is winning because that man needs to be alone or he needs to understand the value of women because clearly he doesn't understand it. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't talk about how this adversely affects the Black community as a whole. 70% of Black children are being born outside of marriages. It's one of the biggest problems why Black people cannot build economic wealth. Having a child when you already don't have economic wealth just compounds your poverty, pretty much bringing children into a world of struggle.
What's something that people glamorize that's actually just
Now, I like this comment. She says the baby mama culture has to stop, and the power to stop it is with Black women. And I cannot agree more. You know why? Because since I was in high school, just watching our community and how it functioned, I made a decision when I was in high school, my senior year, that I personally will not be a baby mom. I said this since I was a senior in high school, and I have literally navigated through my life, keeping that promise. Still ain't a baby mama. And there's not a Tyrone or Glocktavius or Pookie that's going to come over here and change that. And the way I was able to do that is I made sure to put me first. That's what I did. I put me first. And the men that I dealt with in my past didn't argue with that. They did what I asked them to do. I never had an issue, y'all. I'm just telling y'all, my personal experiences, I never had an issue. It was that easy for me. So women have to look out for yourself because the men are not going to do that. There are certain things.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, I just had to take a little sip of my Red Bull. This concludes my video, and you guys let me know what y'all think. Goodbye.